Hi everybody, it's Dave Mantham from Evolutionary Qigong. Today's video, what we're going to review is horizontally circling the ball in both a clockwise or yang manner and also counterclockwise, which we consider the yin direction. So let's get started. We'll of course start without a ball first and then move along into doing the movement with a ball. So in the stationary position, what I'm doing again is I'm staying on my mid-sagittal plane or center line, and with all our movements we start with them being small and then increase them out until our maximum size and then back to small again. For the video's purposes and to save time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the big motion through there, and then when you're on your own you can start with that small movement and then gradually get larger, and then at the end come back to the original movement. So with this in mind, I have my ball at about my waistline here. I'm moving on a transverse plane or parallel to the ground. We call it a horizontal circling motion. So we're here in the center line, and I'm going to turn my waist and begin moving the ball away from the body and then turning back. And then as I bring the ball back towards the body, I'm going to actually start to flex my spine or come into a concave position, and then again continuous motion outward just about to the arms are almost fully extended, and then back again. So horizontally circling in a yang direction, just like we did with the vertical direction of circling. It doesn't have to stay at waist height. As you can see, I'm actually bringing it up to shoulder height and then down to the waist height. And again, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. I can turn this all the way around to the side, bring it back towards the body, and then all the way out to the other side. So it can be kind of an oval shape if you want. There is no set diameter of a circle, if you will. So, and then back. So I choose to wave the spine, but I choose to basically close that chest area as the ball comes towards me, and then I open it outward when I move away from the body. And partially the reason I'm doing that is because when I place the ball further away from the body, if I'm hunched over like this in a flexed position, it'll cause me later on in that rocking and that stepping position to kind of lean forward, put a little more pressure on that lower back area. And so I'm trying to avoid that by building up the body first by closing inward and then opening outward when the ball's further away. And that basically will set you up for a little more safer, if you will, movement. Just like the other movements, I choose to pretty much exhale when I'm moving away from the body and then inhale when I'm coming back from the outward position, if you will. You are more than welcome to experiment and try different methods. Perhaps your intent may be different, so your inhaling and exhaling may be different as well too. It's all based on intent. And for that matter, don't worry about the breathing right off the bat. You want to get the movements first without the ball, then incorporate the breathing, the qi, the mind, things like that as you gradually get more comfortable with the movement. Okay, so let's take the ball in the stationary position and we'll do this circling in a horizontal manner. So again, I'm going to just go right into the movement, and then we're going to start turning to one direction, extending the ball away from the body, and then as I come back, as I turn to the other direction, bring the ball back, outward, back inward, and you notice I still maintain my Tai Chi palm, or tile hand on the ball as I go through these movements, turning the body as far as I can, raising the ball up higher, bringing it downward. Remember, we live in a three-dimensional world, so it does not have to be just on one particular plane. And in fact, when you start adding all four circling directions, vertical, horizontal, yang, and yin, you'll see that you're basically creating a sphere or ball in itself throughout the movement. Okay, so that's circling in a yang manner. Now let's do circling in the yin manner. It's just the opposite direction, so I'm moving counterclockwise. So in the stationary position, same thing. Ball moves away, I open up the chest, waving the spine, comes back towards me, outward, raising the ball height, and I can change all the way over to the opposite direction. If you've seen my other video where I explained keeping the ball in the center line, vertically circling Yang and Yin, you'll know that I use a lot of terminology with the spine, thoracic area between the shoulder blades, and the ability to rotate in those directions. So we want to keep that mobility in that spinal area, known as the thoracic area of the body. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend that you go back and take a look at the initial Tai Chi Basics 1. So that's circling horizontally in a yin direction while stationary. So now we're using our trusty yin-yang symbol exchange, where we use the S pattern to change directions. Again, this is two yin-yang symbols that are placed upon each other, and so we have that kind of figure 8, if you will, in the center. And again, it's not absolute. This can be changed in multiple directions. This is obviously a two-dimensional object, and we live in a three-dimensional world, so consider this also a sphere. So from changing yang to yin or yin to yang, same thing. Let's start with our yang direction. So I'm moving outward and around, and I want to pick a spot where I want to change the direction. So let's just start from this furthest position from the body. I'm going to start to bring it back in towards my body. That's that S curve, and then outward. So you see now I'm going in that counterclockwise or yin direction. Same thing, I can bring it up to shoulder height. Let's say I want to change from this side. I'll again S curve through the center, out, and now I'm going in the opposite direction. So that's our yin-yang symbol exchange. All right, so there you have it, folks. Horizontally circling the ball, both in a yin or yang direction, counterclockwise or clockwise, and also utilizing this symbol for exchanging from yin to yang or yang to yin. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please select like down below. I'd love to hear some comments. I'll be adding more videos as we go along, some rotations, things like that, wrap coilings and stuff, and explaining how those are done. All right, have a great day.